Once, in a small, isolated town surrounded by dense woods, there was an old, abandoned house that everyone avoided. It was said to be haunted by the spirit of a woman named Alysa, who had mysteriously vanished decades ago. The townspeople whispered that she was searching for her lost child, who had also disappeared without a trace. One Halloween night, a group of adventurous teenagers decided to explore the house, eager to prove their bravery. Armed with flashlights and a sense of invincibility, they made their way through the creaking front door, which swung open as if inviting them in. The air inside was thick with dust, and the floorboards groaned under their weight. As they wandered from room to room, they found remnants of Eliza's life: faded photographs, a child's toy, and an old, cracked mirror. Suddenly, a chill ran down their spines as they heard a faint, sorrowful lullaby echoing through the halls. It seemed to come from the attic. Curiosity got the better of them, and they climbed the narrow staircase, their hearts pounding. The lullaby grew louder, wrapping around them like a cold embrace. When they reached the attic, they found it filled with old furniture draped in white sheets. In the center of the room stood a rocking chair, gently swaying back and forth, though there was no one there. One of the teens, Sarah, felt compelled to approach the chair. As she stepped closer, the lullaby stopped abruptly, and an eerie silence filled the room. Suddenly, a shadow moved in the corner of her eye. She turned, and there, in the dim light, stood a translucent figure of a woman, her face filled with anguish. "Where's my baby?" the ghostly figure cried, her voice echoing with despair. The teens froze in fear, realizing they had awakened something they shouldn't have. They turned to run, but the attic door slammed shut, trapping them inside. Panic set in as the temperature dropped, and they could see their breath in the air. Eliza's spirit began to swirl around them, her wails growing louder. "Help me find him," she pleaded, her eyes filled with tears. Desperate, the teens searched the attic, looking for anything that might help her. Among the dusty boxes, they found a small, rusted locket. When they opened it, a faded picture of a baby smiled back at them. "Is this him?" Sarah shouted, holding it up. The spirit paused, her expression shifting from sorrow to hope. She reached out toward the locket, but just as her fingers brushed it, the room shook violently. The walls seemed to close in, and a deafening roar filled the air. In that moment, the teens felt a surge of energy, and the attic door burst open. They didn't hesitate. They bolted down the stairs, through the house, and out into the night, not stopping until they reached the safety of the streetlights outside. They never spoke of that night again, but the townspeople noticed a change. The old house, once shrouded in darkness and despair, seemed lighter, as if a weight had been lifted. Eliza's spirit was finally at peace, and the lullaby was never heard again. But every Halloween, when the wind howled through the trees, some say you can still feel her presence, a gentle reminder of a mother's love and the lengths she would go to find her child.